In this simple and easy tutorial, we are going to recreate the most popular Tic Tac Toe game that we all love to play. You are going to learn how to design the page like this, how to create the functionality, how to declare the winner, and everything else. So if that's something that interests you, make sure that you watch this video. Before we start with writing any code, we first need to figure out what we actually are going to need. So here we have an example of how it's going to look like. So pretty much what we need to have is one element that is going to contain like 9 cells. So how we are going to do it? We can easily create one div. Let's say it's going to be the grid, and inside of the grid we are just going to have 9 cells. So I will do it like this and then just multiply this 9 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And from here, now if we go and check, pretty much we will not see anything because there's no design. So let's apply some CSS to this. So I will just say style. Okay. And first, let's write for the grid. So what we need for the grid is we need to specify that when we display, this is going to be a grid, and let's say that we are going to use grid template columns, and let's say we are going to have 3 columns and each of them will be 100 pixels. So let's write that like this. And now for the cell, we can specify that height is going to be also 100 pixels, so it will be 100 pixel by 100 pixels. And maybe let's add some color to the border. So we can say maybe just border 1 pixel solid, and then let's just add some blue. So let's see what we have so far. Cool, looks solid. Now let's maybe position this to the center of the screen. So how we are going to do it? We first need to move this entire grid to the center. So we will say that position will be absolute, and maybe from the top we will add 50% and from the left 50%. So let's see. It's here, and as you can see it's not in the middle, so we need to move it by half of this to the top and half of this to the left. So since each of these is 100 pixels, we know that this is 300 pixel and half is 100 pixel, 150 pixels. So we can say margin left is minus 150 pixels, and margin, let's say top, is also the same. So now let's see. Okay, cool. Now it's solid. It's in the center. Now the next thing that we need to do is we will need to define like the font size, etc. of, let's say we are going to have X here. Now if we go and check, we can see it's here. So let's maybe change the font size and maybe try to position it in the center. So how we can do it? We can say that we are going to have font size, let's say 50 pixels. Let me quickly check that. Yeah, that's solid. We can display it as a flex, and then we can just justify content to the center. So let's see what we have. Okay, and now we need also to vertically align it. So what you can say is align items to the center, and boom, now it's look pretty solid. Okay, so now we need to write the functionality so that each time when we click somewhere here, we are actually going to have like different X or Ox. So I'm going to use the jQuery. You can do it definitely in the plain JavaScript or vanilla JavaScript, but I usually use for most of the things jQuery because it's just so much faster to write. And yeah, so on the document ready, I'm going to set some listeners on the cell. So each time when someone click on the cell, we are going to do something. So I'll say on the cell, what we, oops. Okay, so each time when someone click, we can maybe display the current player. So we need to know who is the current player. So I can say that the current player by default. Okay, and then we can say current player. And then each time when someone click and we write, we want to change the player. So how we can do it? We can say current player equals, and we can say if current players equal X, we will, else it will be X. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Okay, come on, clear. It's hard coded. We need to remove this. So let's try. Cool. It works as expected. Okay, so now what we need to also do is track where did, let's say, X or Ox clicked, and then also we need to track like in what cell. So let me show you how we can achieve this. So let's say to the each cell we are going to give some number so that we know what is like the ID or whatever of that cell. So let's say this is the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, number 4, etc. So let's do it. So here for each cell I'm going to say maybe data index, okay, and then let's just give it to them. Okay, and now let's also write like current, let's say, place, which are the position where like they clicked. So at the moment it's empty, but each time when they click, what we can do, we can say current place for the current player, and then we just need to push. So we want to have it as an it can be the string, but I love to use the number, so I will just say parse integer, and then we will just get it from attribute data index. Okay, and now let's test that. Okay, it's empty. Current place, you can see it's empty. So now maybe now let's try. So let's see now. Okay, cool. So we know now that Ox have the one like play on the position 2, and on the position 1 and 3 we have X. Okay, so how we are going to determine did the person win or not? We need to define what are the winning positions. So here we know that winning position can be if, let's say, X have clicked on the 1, 2 and 3, or 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8, 9. And now the same thing applies for vertical. So it can be 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8. Okay, so 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. And then we also have like to the cross, so it's 1, 5, 9 and 7, 5, 3. Okay, so 1, 5, 5, 9. Yep. And 3, 5, 7. So those should be all possible winning. So I'll just copy this, and let's say we are just going to define it. So I can say like winning positions, and it's going to be an array of these. So let me just create an array. Maybe I can do it like this. Let me try. Bear with me. All right, cool. Okay, and now for each of those, should put comma. Cool. So here, when someone make a play, before we switch the player, we should check, do we have a winner? So we can say if is winner, maybe we will have a helper function is winner. We can say for now just alert winner, and maybe we can say who the winner is. So it's current player, okay, just for a test. So let's now write this is winner function. Okay, so I'll say is winner. And how we are going to check it? First, what we can do to optimize alphabet is we can track how many plays we have. So if we have less than 5, that means it's not possible that someone is winner. So we can say num plays at the moment is 0. So we can say here num plays plus plus. Okay, and here we will say if number of plays is less than 5, return. It's not possible that we have a winner. Cool. And then here what we need to do, so maybe for easier explanation of this, I will just move it here so I can visually see what I'm talking about. So here what we need to do, since we have this indexed array, what we should do is go through entire array. So we can say for equals 0, a less than winning positions not length, e plus plus. Okay, and now when we are going through, let's say this one, we also need to have another loop that is going through each of these elements. So I will say just let's define additional loop that will go through. Okay, so how we are going to check if someone is winner? So we know that we currently track all the moves by each player. So we just need to verify, does, let's say, this player or current player have each of these positions? If he does, he is winner. If he doesn't, let's check this one. And the same thing. So we can say like this, that by default winner exists, for example. And then here we can say that if, so we can say in array, so what we need to check is in array this element, so winning positions, oops, exist in which one? In the current place of current player. So if it's less than 0, that means that this element doesn't exist. So in that case, is winner is false. We should break from this loop. It doesn't make sense that we continue this loop, because if any of the elements doesn't exist in the place, it's definitely not a winning combination. So we need to check another one. Okay, and then what else? We also need to check, like, if we have a winner, let's return true. So that means that this return will immediately skip from the for and also terminate the function, and we'll just say, hey, we have a winner. Okay, and then by default, let's return false. So let's test this. I think that it should be good enough. Let's test. Okay, so let's make a winner. Okay, we should have a now. Boom, winner X. Cool. Now let's reload. Let's try some different again. So let's maybe try to make a win here. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. That works. So now let's build additional functionality. I will just move this to the top. We don't need, oops, to have we don't need to have it here and define on each call. That makes sense. So I'll just put it here. Okay, I'll just, okay. What else we need to verify? We also need to verify, do we have a draw? Okay. That means that it's not possible to play anymore, and for that reason, let's stop. So I'll say function is draw. So when it is going to be this condition, it's in the moment when we have 10 plays. So if number of plays equal 9, and we know that we didn't declare winner here, in that case, so we can just say this, return. Okay, so that's draw. If it's 9 plays, that's draw. Okay, cool. Let's test that one. Okay, so now let's make sure that nobody wins. Cool, that's it. Now it's draw. So it will be good that we also say something like game finished, false. So we'll say here, if we have a winner, we will say game finished, oops, equal true, and then here we'll say if not game finished. Okay. It will also be smart to say here that it's not possible to click if the game is finished. So that does make sense. And now let's maybe nicely display the message. So we can say game result. Okay. And what we can do is we can say function show game result, and maybe we can have the type. So we can say if type equal win, we will show one message, and then the second one will be for the draw. So we can just say like this, else, because it's not possible to have any other case. So it's win or draw. Okay, and then here we will say that each time in either case game will be finished. Okay, and we will just say here show game result, and it will be win, and we are just going to, okay, and then here show game result draw. Okay, cool. So how we are going to do it? We can just say that game result dot txt, we can say winner is current player. So let's test this part. Winner is, and now I'm not able to click anymore, so it's not going to work. Okay, cool. So from here, what we can also do is to give an ability to play again. So what we can say is dot append, and we can append the span. Maybe we can assign some ID, play again. We can say on click, oops. We will call the function play again. Okay. And in order to play again, what we need to do is pretty much whatever we have here, we just need to set it again. So I'll just copy and paste, delete this, and that's it. Okay, that means that they can play again, and of course in the cell we need to clear the content, and same applies to the game result. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, winner is X, play again, boom, that works, but it looks really bad. So maybe instead of span we can have paragraph, and we can set that play again text color will be blue. Let's see. Yeah, now it looks solid. And we should maybe change the cursor to the pointer. And same thing applies to the cell. Okay. Yeah, so it looks now a little bit cleaner. Alright guys, pretty much that's it. This is a very simple game, very simple to create and super fast. So if you have any questions or anything, please ask me in the comments below. And also if you would love to see more tutorials like this, please make sure that you subscribe and also write what tutorials do you want to see next in the comments below. Take care.